remember when we went in one D-Day, on our way to the beaches, I fell asleep. I was the only guy on the ship, I think, that fell asleep. Everybody else was saying their rosaries, saying their prayers, crying. Hey, listen, we're all a bunch of kids. On our ship, the oldest guy was 29 years old. Out of 120 men, the oldest is 29. So we called him Pop. Can you imagine calling a guy 29 Pop? So at any rate, when I got hit, I couldn't believe it happened. I'm laying there on the gun rack, and I'm in great pain, and I've been wounded in several places. I'm laying there thinking to myself, this can't be happening to me. Things like this happen to other people, not to me. I was wrong. It did happen. And which meant that you gotta psych out. I think the lesson I learned there is that you psych out your life. You don't take unnecessary chances. I learned that. There's certain things will happen that will disturb you, that you will be tempted maybe to do. And I only lost this sense of common sense very slowly. When I was here, I was a biker. I've been using a bike for, I guess, maybe 45 or 50 years. When the VA heard that, they said, you're crazy. With your spinal column in the lousy shape in which it is, you ought to give up that bike. Well, finally I listened to them, and I did. But the moral of that story is, why did they have to tell me that? Why couldn't I have used my own head? My God, I'm not a child any longer. But that was great. Then I was kind of stupid. I gave up the bike and I took up skiing, which was not a bright thing to do. And again, someone ratted me out, and the VA said, what are you doing skiing? And I said, me? They said, yes, you. So I said, well, okay, I'm going to give it up, which I did. Because they take care of my physical needs, so I'm going to follow what they say. But the moral of what I'm trying to make is that things can happen. You be smart. Don't let them happen. Prevent them from happening. Don't be stupid and be a risk taker. Other things that, you know, when you go in, things will be asked of you which will not make much sense. But you have to do them. Now remember, this is during the war. We were not well organized, and we were fighting desperately for our national life. I remember I was the military police officer from my ship. Look at me. At that time, before I started to shrink, I was about 5'7". I weighed all of about 120 pounds. That was not an inspiring looking sight. But anyway, why did I get the job? Because I was the most junior officer on the ship. So they gave it to me. So I was military police. And I didn't speak the language of the customary countries where we were. I didn't speak Spanish in Panama, Cuba. I didn't speak French or Arabic in North Africa. I didn't speak Italian in Italy or Sicily. I didn't speak French in France. I had a hard time even understanding the English that the English speak. So, expectations were unrealistic. But you have to expect people to be unreasonable with you. I can remember times when I was given an order and I refused to obey it. But I refused to obey it because I thought it was foolish and unnecessary, and I had to form my own conscience on it. I remember one time the captain says, send somebody up to retrieve that halyard. No, a halyard is the lines that you put up for your signal flag. We had about 10 halyards, and we don't need any of them. So there's one that got caught up there, up on the upper He said, I'm not going to send anybody up there. I think that's too dangerous. We're at sea. The LSDs have a flat bottom. The ship is rolling like this. And when you're up there, you roll out. You're looking down at the ocean. So I said, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do it. So I follow my own conscience. I think what you have to do, follow your own conscience. And I refused. So you will be asked to do things which will violate what you think is right. So don't do it. Don't do it. Use your own conscience. And you've got to be willing to pay the price for it. But when I refused it, I paid the price. I didn't mind it. I forget what the price was. It was just an argument I had with the captain. And I won the argument because I was transferred. So let me see what you always, have a respect for your own conscience, and you at times will be ordered to violate that, especially during wartime. Sometimes some of our guys were told to kill the prisoners. That's an awful thing to do, shoot down an unarmed man and kill him. Particularly if he's a 15-year-old German soldier. That's not good. That's not right. I'm an old man. I'm kind of a bitter old man. I'm an angry old man. I'm a frustrated old man. Why is that? Because I look around and I see us war after war after war. Now listen to this. My grandfather, fought in the Spanish-American War and along the Mexican border. My father fought in World War I. I fought in World War II. My son fought in Vietnam. My grandson in Iraq. That doesn't make any sense. That's every generation. Every generation. What are we doing? We're raising generations of killers. And we are supposed to be sophisticated, educated, and totally in control. I don't like this. So someday we're going to go down in little wars. We're going to go from one little war to one little war, and then someday somebody's going to put their finger on that button and press that button, and history, as we know, will have ended, or is about to end. Life will not be the same once that button is pushed. I'm talking about the nuclear button. Every so often, I come across a sad situation. About 2 weeks ago, I got a telephone call from a man in Philadelphia. And I did not know him. He said, "Are you Father?" He screwed up the pronunciation of my name, but I knew who he meant. I said, "You Father?" He said, "You Father?" I said, "Yes." He said, "No, I got to make sure I got the right person. You're a wounded combat veteran of World War II. I said, "Yes, I am." He said, "You're the one I want to talk to if you'll see me." I said, "Sure, I'll see you." So I gave him directions to Palmerton from Philadelphia. He came up. I knew what he was going to say. As soon as he quizzed me on my military service, I knew what he was going to say. He had a thing with somebody, or get it off his chest, however you want to say it. He was guilty of atrocities in Iraq. He had killed civilians, and a surprisingly large number of them. And it's disturbing him greatly. And we talked together. And as a matter of fact, we cried together. Again, what are we doing to each other? Now that experience with this man was not unfamiliar to me. Because when I was over here at St. Richard's in Lawrenceville, and when I moved out of St. Nicholas in Lehigh Township, guys who were veterans of the Vietnam War came and confessed the same thing. For some reason or other, they felt better confessing to someone who they felt would understand. I understood as best I could.